Welcome to this explainer. Let's get right into it. Today, we're unlocking the massive, deeply human puzzle of global work and decoding international human resource management. If you've ever been fascinated by the sheer logistics of how corporate giants operate across borders, you are exactly in the right place.
So, think about it for a second. How on earth do you manage people when your office literally spans the entire globe? If you've ever wondered about the hidden machinery keeping a multinational corporation humming along, well, the answer lies in understanding these incredibly complex global frameworks. It's way beyond just juggling time zones and video calls. It's about taking distinct cultures, varying laws, and deeply ingrained human behaviors and merging them into one cohesive strategy.
Okay, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The global business landscape, 2. Who works where, 3. The expatriate roller coaster, 4. Management styles and strategies, and finally, 5. Blueprinting global HR models. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The global business landscape.
So, what's the actual engine driving all this? It's IHRM, or International Human Resource Management. This is the absolute bedrock of managing a cross-border workforce. It encompasses everything, and I mean everything, from international recruitment and specialized training to navigating some incredibly complex cultural landscapes. It's basically the science and art of making sure a company's human capital is effective no matter where on the map they happen to be stationed.
But, hey, these companies don't operate in a vacuum, right? Countries are measured on this massive global playing field using something called the Global Competitive Index, or GCI. This index measures exactly how competitive and productive a country's economy is by looking at things like infrastructure, education, innovation, technology, and the overall business environment. Nations like Finland and Singapore, for example, usually rank incredibly high here. And why does this matter to us? Well, because a multinational corporation is going to rely heavily on this exact data to decide where to drop their next mega factory or global headquarters. They're constantly chasing the best infrastructure and the sharpest minds.
Section 2. Who works where?
Let's take these abstract corporate acronyms and actually ground them in reality. Picture a Finnish company setting up a brand new branch in Nepal. First, you've got the PCN, the parent country national. This is an employee from the company's home country. So a Finnish manager is sent straight from Helsinki to work in Kathmandu. Then you have the HCN, the host country national. This is a citizen of the country where the branch is operating. In our scenario, a Nepali employee hired locally. And finally, we have the TCN, the third country national. This is someone from neither the parent nor the host country. Think of an Indian manager hired to work at that same Nepali branch for the Finnish company. It's honestly a brilliant way to categorize the incredibly diverse mix of talent working under one corporate roof.
Section 3. The expatriate roller coaster.
Now, moving across the world triggers what we call cultural shock. And let me tell you, it is a literal psychological roller coaster. First comes the honeymoon stage. Everything is brand new, it's exciting, the food is incredible. But then reality hits hard with the frustration stage. This is where language barriers and unfamiliar daily customs make even the simplest tasks feel utterly exhausting. But if they push through that wall, they reach the adjustment stage, finally learning the ropes before eventually hitting the adaptation stage, where they actually start to feel at home.
But what happens when it doesn't work out? When an employee just can't complete their foreign assignment and has to return early, it's known in the biz as expatriate failure. And the reasons for this are deeply, fundamentally human. It's rarely about their technical skills. It's usually driven by cultural adjustment problems, family issues, like a spouse who is deeply unhappy in the new city, language barriers, or just flat-out poor training from the parent company before they even left. It's a massive financial blow to the company for sure, but it's also a huge personal blow to the employee.
And wait, the roller coaster doesn't actually stop when the assignment is over. The repatriation process, bringing those expatriates back home, comes with its own heavy set of psychological hurdles. You'd think going home would be the easy part, right? But they often face reverse culture shock, feeling completely out of place in their own hometown. Add to that the career uncertainty of wondering where they even fit into the corporate ladder now that they're back, plus severe readjustment problems. The company really has to manage this return transition just as carefully as the initial departure.
Section 4. Management styles and strategies.
Down at the very foundation, a company has to make a core philosophical choice. Are they going to use soft HRM or hard HRM? If a company goes with soft HRM, they view their people as highly valuable assets. It's very human-centered, focusing heavily on employee motivation, well-being, and long-term development. On the flip side, hard HRM treats employees strictly as resources, literally like capital or machinery. It is entirely task-centered, focusing relentlessly on performance, efficiency, and profit. Neither is inherently wrong in the business world, but man, they create wildly different company cultures.
From those basic philosophies, companies build out their actual global strategies. First up is the ethnocentric strategy. In this approach, the parent company keeps a very, very tight grip on things. They put those parent country nationals, the PCNs we talked about, in charge of all foreign branches. All the major decisions come directly from headquarters. Now, this ensures total brand consistency, but it can completely alienate the local workforce, who might feel like they have absolutely no voice.
On the total opposite end of the spectrum, we have the polycentric strategy. Here, local host country employees, the HCNs, are totally trusted to manage the branches. Why? Because the company realizes that local people understand the local culture, the local market, and the local customer vastly better than someone sitting in an office 5,000 miles away. It grants autonomy and really respects regional differences.
And then there's the geocentric strategy. This one basically ignores borders entirely. It adopts a truly global mindset where the absolute best talent is selected for the job, totally regardless of their nationality. Whether they are from the parent country, the host country, or a third country, talent is what wins. It's highly collaborative and incredibly difficult to pull off effectively because of things like immigration laws and relocation costs, but it is widely considered the absolute gold standard of global HR.
Section 5. Blueprinting Global HR Models.
To actually build these systems, organizations rely on specific academic blueprints. First is the Harvard model. This one leans heavily into that soft HRM approach we discussed. It fundamentally treats employees not just as workers, but as vital stakeholders in the business. It breaks things down into 4 main areas: how much influence employees have, the flow of human resources in and out, the fairness of reward systems, and the design of work systems. The ultimate goal isn't just a quick buck, it's long-term employee satisfaction, which drives sustainable success.
Next is the Stanford model, which is essentially a giant dynamic balancing act. It emphasizes deep, strategic HR planning to perfectly balance 3 competing forces: the harsh organizational goals of the company, the personal needs of the employees, and the pressures of the external environment, like those shifts in the global competitive index we saw earlier. It requires the company to be very adaptable.
And if Harvard is the soft approach, the Michigan model, often called the matching model, is the poster child for Hard HRM. This model is rigid, structured, and means business. It focuses on selection, appraisal, rewards, and development. But here is the absolute key takeaway. Every single one of those systems must perfectly match the core business strategy. If the business strategy pivots, the HR systems pivot instantly to serve that new goal. It is wildly efficient, driven by performance, and leaves zero room for sentimentality.
So we've covered a ton of ground today, moving from the rigid, strategy-matching Michigan model all the way to the messy, human realities of expatriate failure and culture shock. As we look at that geocentric ideal, where talent is completely borderless, and contrast it with these massive corporate frameworks, we really have to ask ourselves, in a truly globalized world, as technology makes our planet feel smaller every single day, does nationality in the workplace actually still matter? Or are we speeding toward a future where our passports are completely irrelevant to our potential? That, my friends, is the ultimate global talent puzzle. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you on the next one.